It is pointless to resist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing long talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 278, being recorded on September 25th, 2024. I am your host, Darth Moocher, and I cannot seem to get an accurate cast here. It's either Scott's gone or now Chris is gone. Ernie will come in a couple minutes later, but
or right before the end credits, you know,
right before the show ends. But Scott is back from off planet. So he went off planet and he is back joining us.
What's up, nerds? It definitely felt like another world, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man. Chris should be joining us here shortly. And then of course Ernie will be coming in and disrupting the whole flow of everything. But I love it. It's fun. It's cool. Before we get into all that stuff, and before we get into some cool things and maybe not so cool things, and checking in with the pit real fast, I'm going to kick it over to Scott because this is your time to shout out the Shadow Council.
It's my time. This is it. It's my time. Let's see if I can do it all in an accent today.
Oh boy.
Let me insult all the Irish people out there that listen to this. All right. So hey, welcome back, everybody. Especially our Shadow Council. We love all of you. We really appreciate your support of us. You're who keeps the lights on here. And, without you, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C., Cliff, Commander Cook, Crystal E., Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davey of the Nerds with Attitude, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Luke, aka Lob Collects, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Muff Tech is back, Nicholas Schaefer, Obi Wan Kenobi, Papa Schmitty, Ryan, and the Star Joe's podcast. We wouldn't have a show, without all of you. So we really appreciate every one of you. You're all awesome. And I really, really do appreciate all of you supporting us constantly. And Gavin Connor, he's holding on. He and Antonio are both in the chat right now from the Holy Hour. There's a new Cure song debuting tonight or tomorrow morning. So it's first time in like 16 years. So we're kind of freaking out.
All right.
You know us Cure nerds. We're all.
I tend to know way too many. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, Scott, right, but I am in the loop.
not only are those fine folks, our Shadow Council, so important to us, but so are the folks that are currently in the chat, including Rhino Hobbies. Yes. What's up, Rhino Hobbies? We got Basil G in there. We've got the one and only Howl Runner Base. We've got, there's me. You don't need to shout me out. There's Matt Logic in there being all awesome as always.
Yes.
You got Cult Leader. That's podcast from the Holy Hour podcast right
Maybe
there.
On the after hours, we'll do the Cure song.
The Cure song. We got Gavin Connor in there. Let's see. Who else have we got? We've got Philly Sky Guy. What's up, Philly Sky Guy? Welcome aboard. What's up, Douglas Tupper? Cougar Town. All right. I'm in. Why not?
All right, yeah,
cool.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Well, cool deal. Thank you, everybody. That's joining us. That will join us, especially live and on the replay. Let's welcome Grand Ammo Franz right here, right in time, just to get into Star Wars talk, just to get it right into it. Thank you, Chris.
Kinda. Once he can figure out how to make his stuff work.
No problem.
This is how the soup is made right here.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, there he is.
Right. It was still hooked into my work cord. I switched over from work to podcast, and tomorrow morning, I swear on my first conference call, I'll be sitting there talking to you.
Yeah.
The wrong cord in. It happens every week, dude. So that was the first time it ever happened this way.
Exactly.
So, what's up?
All right. I lost my train of thought where I was going.
You know what my train of thought is? Look behind me.
Oh, I know. First off, is that a life-size Darth Vader?
Oh, excuse me, sir. That is a 7-foot Darth Vader. Yes, it is. And I've never been happier about just about anything in my entire life. I'm going to put a flashlight on it. I thought I didn't know how it would be at night.
Oh, nice.
No, it doesn't do anything else.
Oh,
so you've got to get some lighting, some mood.
I will now.
Before
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Now it matters.
Cult Leader agrees. Sick. That is. I can't wait to go to Chris's house. I can't wait to go to
I've hugged him. I've loved him. We talked. We had a really, really fun time yesterday. I did an intro for a video. I'll do a toy review on him.
Damn right. Yeah.
Nice.
But so I took the video for the intro before I opened the box. I wasn't going to do an unboxing / put together because I didn't know how that was going to go. And I cuss a lot. So
sometimes you just want to just get it. It's so like I just want to get into it, and you have to document it, and it's hard.
Dude, he lights up. He talks.
That's amazing.
The talking sucks, but the lighting up is cool.
Cougar Town agrees. Darth Vader is all of our father. Yes, of course. We're going to get into some Darth Vader talk today a little bit later. But before we get into all that cool stuff, of course, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Just get it done early. Get the like button done early because you're gonna love this episode. I wish there was a love button, not a like button, but hey, it's YouTube. We also got Don and Dad Dorn checking in.
Hey, what's up, Dad?
So Scott's back from Octo.
Yeah.
Just real fast. I know that you're dying to get into it, but you've dropped some cool shorts and a long form video format of your experience there. I want everybody to go over there after this show and check it out. It's great. And see what Scott was why he was gone. He had a good excuse why he was gone. So
I did. You will hear me out of breath because those 618 steps are
the
like
first thing I noticed.
It is no joke, man. And that island is terrifying and amazing at the same time.
Yeah.
Number one, the island adventures to Skellig Michael. They don't believe in Thanks, Gavin. I appreciate that. They do not believe in life jackets or safety talk or anything like that. There are 12 people on the boat. You're in the middle of the Atlantic, and that's I kid you not. That went up to a 30-degree angle a couple of times. One guy was thrown out of his chair, and he had to catch himself with his foot on the railing so he didn't fall out of the boat.
They have a wooden sign that says, "Out of the 50,000 people that we've had here for the year, we've only lost 7." Like, do they have that there?
Percentages.
It's a good, yeah.
They don't want to admit it. So
any Americans sit on the bow. That's it. You see,
it's crazy though, because you are walking near sheer cliffs on one side, and for me, who has a natural fear of heights that I've always had, it was a trial to get up there. Nice. So part of it was my heart rate going. The other part of it was me just panicking.
Yeah,
because. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Brantley checking in. Trip looked epic. Howl Runner also.
It was.
Kudos for making those steps. That was your Jedi trial. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
in good shape.
Scott has dropped some videos, and I'm sure he'll drop more on there and document that whole experience. So cool. Please go check those out. And leave a comment on how many breaths it took him to get up the steps. So I counted about 4. I lost count about 400, but good job, man. Good job. I'm glad you made it back safe, and you're back to in good old America to talk Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this, it's funny. Like, we have 69 days away for Skeleton Crew till that drops.
That is funny for us 12-year-olds that never grow up. Yes.
I know. When I wrote that down, I'm all, well, that won't be a thing.
We gotta slip in a fart joke now too later. We never grow up.
You know what's funny? Yeah, we never grow up. Yeah. But from last week to this week, who was expecting anything? I'm not saying anything dropped in our laps, but who was expecting anything, right? But the rumor mill, like things like just the Star Wars National Enquirer rolled the red carpet out, and we have a couple tidbits. So we're going to roll out our section before we've got Ernie the Fallen Fett right in time for our section here. Are you muted?
No, he's not muted.
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure before we roll into it. Ernie, welcome to the show. We are getting into the rumor mill right now with Truth or Pollo.
Hey, we haven't seen that in a minute.
We haven't rolled that out in a long time, but we've got some. And we're going to start with a Cal Kestis rumor.
Oh,
so Daniel, was it Daniel Richtman?
Richtman.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Who plays Cal Kestis has been
No. Daniel Richtman's the leaker.
Oh, yes.
Monahan is the actor.
Monahan is the saying Cal Kestis will be making a live action debut on Disney Plus soon. That was a quote. Or not a direct quote. I'm sorry. That he did not say he is. It was just he was talking about, I guess.
It's got the upcoming bits. He's saying that he's heard it's coming, right?
Yeah.
And then
he heard it's coming.
Then in that same article, they flash back to about this time last year with Kennedy, talking about how interesting wouldn't that be if Cal Kestis would show up, and everybody stays so tight on the stories, it shouldn't be too hard. The fun thing to play with that is where. That's where
because so there is a third game. That was announced, the third and final game for the Jedi Fallen Order trilogy. And exactly where. And here's my thing. Now we know it's in a legit source. We can put some truth behind this particular rumor. Okay. Just because it's got a little bit of legitimacy to it doesn't mean that it's going to come to fruition.
There's no confirmed in this.
There's no, this isn't, exactly. So I just want to throw that out there. But this one does have some legs, or a leg to stand on a little bit, just because it's come from some insider people. Now we can take that and go, okay, cool. Where exactly what you said? Is it going to be the future projects, or is it going to be wedged in the time of the Empire? Stuff? Is it going to be, if it's Disney Plus, it's going to be a series somewhere. So we know the series that are coming out, unless it's something brand new that hasn't been announced yet. So
Didn't they just say though that they are going to back off on producing multiple series, or is this again? I've been out of the loop for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They're saying that they are going to aim for like one Disney Plus series a year.
I think that was more Marvel talk
per franchise.
Was that more Marvel talk?
But even if they did, you could. I think this rumor is more current than we realize. He fits in Andor.
Okay,
he fits.
He fits in Andor.
I didn't even think about Andor. Jesus, where have I been? I've completely forgot that Andor season 2 is coming.
I don't think he's going to fit in anything post, anything with the Mandoverse. I don't think we're going to see him there.
Okay.
I think the video game, if I recall, the rumor on the video game is it takes place still during the pre A New Hope, right? So I think that the whole trilogy of games will be in there. It's not saying this game's gonna his cameo could be between the first and second game for all we know.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be like later than we know.
Yeah.
And we're sure that Disney Plus, we're talking live action, because he would also fit in whatever the path might be.
It says
if we do end up getting an animated.
They specifically said, "Well, we don't know what the path is. We made the path up here." I think the path is live action.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
I hope.
I'm just saying that because you and
McGregor. But if they're dialing it back though, and only giving us maybe just one show a year, then we've already got Andor happening next year. We've got Skeleton Crew this year. We've got probably Ahsoka the year after that.
Yeah.
Where do these
maybe on the
other
future
shows,
projects, because this is already kind of like done and set, and the schedule's set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It could very well be done. Because what's the one thing? Because Andor is next, right? I'm in the middle of Andor right now. By the way, I'm prepping.
Yeah. Rick Jones checking on. He said wrapped up a long time ago. So.
Sure, it did. We just didn't know what happened in there. We're missing one thing from Andor. I've been bitching about since. Andor.
You're right.
It's the
lightsabers.
Yeah, magic lightsabers. Something like that.
Yeah. So that's where I was gonna go with it a little bit. Where Cal Kestis' character has always been in the hiding, just because Jedis are being hunted all the time. The time frame where they're not is the Mandalorian. That's the Mandoverse is where they're not being hunted. And if you can get him in that kind of current state of it, maybe. But we're going to get into that whole Mandoverse later, because there might be some ripples in that, where we don't really know where that's going anymore, because there's been some things. But if so, what we're saying is that it might have already been done, meaning Cal Kestis might be making his first debut of live action in something. And Rick Jones even said Skeleton Crew. I mean, but that puts us in the Mandoverse. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You get to a point. You get to a point where you've got so many Jedi that survived Order 66, and they're out there and about, and Ahsoka's hanging with Luke. Why is Luke the Grandmaster when all these people that actually had actual training are out there kicking? Right. I mean, Ahsoka should be the one teaching. I mean, of course, we want it to be Luke. She doesn't want it, right? But you've got we don't know what happened to Quinlan. Quinlan Voss was a fully trained Jedi Knight during the time. Where are these people? You throw in a Cal Kestis in the same time frame, and you start going, why is Luke such a big deal? Right? I mean, we know why Luke is such a big deal, but why?
You're right.
The reason you can't use Cal, in post, is because the game's not going to be post, and the game's going to come out before the series.
Right.
If you announce some kind of Cal Kestis nonsense, he's going to survive the game.
Well, that's what I was going with.
This is the end of the game. You could. I don't know how many main heroes die off at the end of a game, but you could get his whole story in this trilogy of games. Yeah. So you don't ruin the ending. Yeah. By putting out a game.
I kind of do want, honestly, to be not in the Mandoverse in this time frame. And it goes just to say again about the original trilogy, where it's supposed to be the last. I mean, Yoda, Obi-Wan, and training Luke to be the last Jedi.
Yeah, because if I were Luke and all of a sudden there's Ahsoka, I'm getting over Ahsoka, right? I'm Luke figuring it out. Okay, this is my dad's. Title. This is cool. Cal,
basically his stepsister.
Yeah. At some point, he's like, "Where the hell were you guys 3 years ago? Where you been?" Yeah. I'm gonna yell real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. those of you who are privy to lip reading, I can translate that real fast. Close caption that up. You're still muted, by the way, but yeah.
Dog-in-law, man. My
That's
dogs
great.
don't hear or see nothing. They're just sitting in the corner doing shit. This one over here.
Ernie, where do you think Cal Kestis in the Mando timeline, or in the maybe a existing series that's coming out, or a brand new series? And it says live action was the key, and that's why we're talking about it. Because animation, I could be like, all right, cool, it is what it is.
No,
but live action's a different animal.
Yeah, live version, I have no clue because I don't know anything about his background. I haven't played any of those games or anything like that. But I mean, I can pick up what Chris is throwing down is literally if it's coming to the third series of the game, you can't make a reveal about that either. And so that would be why we haven't seen him. But if it's going to be the end and it gives a tease to a show coming up, then that's what it probably is. I don't know where he would fit in this timeline at all. To put him in a certain timeline, to say, we're going to venture off here, you know?
Yeah. Andor makes kind of good sense. Andor makes sense because of that. What Chris was saying about the whole Force thing, meaning maybe somebody goes to like Cal Kestis, because again, he's in hiding. They're being hunted at this time frame. And it would be kind of great to have it just cross paths. He doesn't have to be a major part of it. Just cross paths with Lucian or Andor at this point of handing something off or whatever it is. I think that would be kind of cool. Like, you know, am I vested in a character like Cal Kestis to be very, very excited for a spin-off series or whatever? Probably not.
Me neither, but it adds a new Disney time Jedi.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Like everything they do is a new Disney flavor. So that just gives you the time to bring him in. And it would be like when they did with Ahsoka and Luke. You introduced them both in a different show. They come back. Well, Luke hasn't really come back bigger. He was already there. But Ahsoka got introduced in one show, then gets her own. You introduce Cal in here. Everybody gets to know him. Oh, that's how he kind of fits in. And then everybody starts checking the games out. And then you know where he goes.
Very true.
And then
very true. You know the spikes in sales will.
Just, dude, immediately.
Yeah. I don't feel like I don't need it, but I'll take anything they throw at us.
We'll consume. I mean, yeah.
And Cal Kestis, I mean, the action figures are great. So
he's already here. It's nobody to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody to figure. You already have the actor for it.
100%. It's an easy plop. So just real fast,
brainless, to be honest.
Yeah. Mando Mike checking in.
There.
And this is Rick Jones. This is why Chris brings it up. There is no Jedi stuff in Andor. That's why he brings it up to
it should be
put that Jedi stuff in Andor, even like a very, very small
sprinkle.
Yeah, because that would have changed Andor for me, right? Like I know everybody praises on it and everything else, and Andor is great. I tell you, visually, the direction, everything, but it's not magical to me like other Star Wars are, because there's literally no magic in it. So
it's all magic from my end. Batu Bay is checking in.
What's up? Top of the morning to you. You know they don't actually say that there.
Hellrunner is trolling. I know he's trolling here. I know it. They can kill him off in the third Jedi game and World Between Worlds or bring him back to life.
Can we block people?
Yes, we can.
We're not bringing people back.
But we don't want to. We like Hellrunner.
Yeah. And Janobi checking in. What is going on? Let's see. What's Man of My saying? Cal Kestis parallel to timeline between Return of the Jedi and 7.
See, that's the thing. He's pre A New Hope.
Yeah,
really,
he's
so.
And again, I think it waters down the whole Jedi thing in the original trilogy if you just have all these surviving Jedi,
trained Jedi, right? New Force users is different than that's Jedi hiding.
See, they did a thing with Ezra. It was building up where like, okay, we're getting to A New Hope. What are we going to do with ezra? Why is he? And they took him off the board, right? So they removed Ezra from any contention right there. So Luke was still special. But then they went and they unleashed Jedi into the universe. I mean, basically Ahsoka was there.
And you got to cheat with Ahsoka because she is no Jedi. Right. So you got to cheat.
But I mean, but now we know the Quinlan's out there.
Jude Law's out there.
Hellrunner up there said that Oppo Rancis is still out there. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that Oppo Rancis was still alive.
There was a comic where it showed everybody captured in it, or a bunch, not everybody, because there's thousands of Jedi, right? Yeah. But it had a main board of the big players. That's when we knew Quinlan Vos wasn't captured or killed because he was still on the board, right? And Oppo Rancis, and at some point, this is before they grabbed Jocasta Nu, before they got her, because she was on the board as ready to go. It was right around then, because wasn't the Jocasta Nu in the Vader comic?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
so
basically her versus Vader. Yeah.
I think it was in that
So-
same set right there.
Yeah.
There's a point where it's like, okay, they were smart enough to get Ezra off the table, so there wasn't any conflict there. But all of a sudden, we've got all these other Jedi, ex-Jedi, non-Jedi that are out there that could have jumped in and helped, but didn't. And,
That's what I'm saying. But the hell were you guys at?
Yeah, I'm okay with existing Jedi out there in the galaxy because I don't think they all have this like phone call away kind of stuff. It could be scattered.
You saw how Ben Obi-Wan was in the beginning.
We
right?
did, but at the same time, I mean, they even talk about it in Kenobi. It's like a Jedi can't help themselves. They see somebody in trouble, they're going to want to out themselves basically to help that person, and here you've got an entire galaxy. They're being hunted, but at the same time, you'd think that they would be right in line to join the Alliance.
You would think, but you also have one of the greatest Jedi ever, right, that didn't want to be a Jedi anymore 10 years later. So
and remember, there is no alliance during Kenobi.
And when there's nobody else greater than Kenobi, somebody not as great as Kenobi,
right.
It's not going to last as long as him. The people we saw in Kenobi when they were searching for him, those were younger Jedi, right? I took those as Padawans grown up. So
I wasn't using Kenobi as a springboard. I was just saying they use that line, and they use that line in Kenobi that a Jedi can't help themselves.
No, I know. I'm just using it back as an example. I don't think they're like the same strength as Kenobi.
Caliber.
So I think they would be worse, right? Like the young kids would still be fighting.
But that
right?
one
the
wanted
older ones
to.
Are like, no, we did all this and lost.
Yeah.
And we see the bigger picture. And just like Kenobi told the guy, he's all, we lost. The war's over.
We lost. Go away. Yeah.
Didn't we get the answer in Mando though?
So
with Grogu, they had to go to the special rock and send out the special signal, the bat signal on the rock. And if there is any Jedi around the area that still deal with the Force, like
they still only got the one. Cal didn't
but that's what I'm
up.
saying though. So it's been so long, like you kind of, if you don't use it, you lose it type thing.
Oh, that's true because it did happen to
Kenobi. That happened to Ben. Yeah,
right. So I think that it's kind of an explanation is if there's so many around, why aren't they there? Well, there you go, because they've been hiding long or not.
Yeah.
It's still to what Scott said too. They don't want to force to show themselves.
Right.
And then
but
have
I do
anything
feel
at all.
You guys are all in Apple Valley. I wouldn't know you needed help if we didn't have phones.
Exactly.
Forget
my bad signal doesn't go that far. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel as far as the Luke front, I think he was destined for this. That's why Obi-Wan and Yoda had to probably a master plan when he's old enough or he's showing, just like in Kenobi. Because again, we rewatched Kenobi. You want to know if he's showing. That's what Owen Lars told Kenobi, right? He's got to be in this fight. He told him that. They're breeding or they're gearing Luke to face Vader to bring down the Emperor.
They're grooming him. They're groomers.
They're groomers. I mean, that is their destiny, and it's all about destiny and everything. Of course, during the original trilogy time when it was made, he was the only one. Yoda spoke of another, blah blah blah. But the other Jedis are doing other things. And again, I just don't think
they're the important ones because they can take down Vader. Because that's where you got to kind of start headcanon the original trilogy, right?
Yeah.
They're worried about the Skywalker twins, nobody else, and that's where we're Anakin's kids. They're the ones that can take down the Emperor.
Yeah. Yep.
Period.
The Emperor knew as well as I did. If Anakin didn't have any offspring, be a threat to the Emperor.
That's why they focus on those two and another, and they're the most important ones. Our last hope. It's based on these two, so it could be other ones out there. And they know Cal's out there. They know Ahsoka's out there.
Right.
It's really on the twins.
Right.
Luke,
yeah.
The last of the Jedi you will be, with some minor exceptions. Read the fine print, you must not.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, that is 33 years past what we're, so.
And if Cal dies in the game,
and
or whatever happened, right? Cal can end before it returns, so that doesn't have to be a lie. And Ahsoka, we've clearly stated 27 times in the show.
Hey,
right?
Easy,
not our show, their show. They always say it. She's no Jedi. I'm no Jedi. She's not a Jedi.
But here's the easiest thing. The easiest fix is what Hal Brunner said. It could be a flashback scene, and there you get Cal Kestis live action. Just like young Anakin, young Ahsoka. Yep. I mean, that very well could be somewhere where instead of trying to put a brand new timeline in it or force him into a timeline, it could be something where Cal Kestis gave this to me and it showed it and I could take out again.
As long as it's pre A New Hope, it doesn't matter where they put him.
Exactly. And I think that's the point.
Yeah.
I think that's the point where we're as the overall timeline. So yeah. All right, cool. So we'll keep our eye out on the Cal Kestis front. But one rumor out there that don't know if it's holding ground, I think people are just, I don't know what they're doing, is the Rey movie is up front again about being delayed, canceled, delayed. The writer's about to quit. And here's the thing. I looked into it. I looked at it, and there is zero interviews. There is zero anything of anybody saying anything about the Rey movie at all. The only thing that they're going by is they claim that at Celebration a while ago when they announced the Rey movie, it said it's going to be the first one. And I couldn't find where they said the Rey movies was going to be the first movie. And then all of a sudden they're crowbarring Mando and Grogu, which people are speculating that's going to push the Rey movie out. Therefore, it's delayed, blah, blah, blah. Daisy Ridley admittedly said, I read a treatment, I'm in, but there's no script. And she keeps repeating there's no script. So people are taking that as, fire, Kathleen Kennedy did it again, and nothing could be done. So I think that's where this rumors
I had read creative
again.
differences on the script, hence why
already.
No
Yeah.
Hence why it's not there and completed, and Daisy doesn't have one. Like there's a treatment is one.
There's a treatment, and
the
that's
script is.
I mean, they have a director attached to it. They have a treatment. They have their star attached to it, but there's no script. And and very well could be, where there is creative differences. And here we go again. The conflict within Lucasfilm, and there all of a sudden another writer is going to walk.
Wait, hey, Ernie, what do you think?
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen. But
the Rey
what
movie?
they're going to do in place of it, it's not happening. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Okay.
We're all like,
I'm sitting there going, I'm writing it down.
No, I'm just kidding. But I see it as
my balls all tensed up. I was excited. I was like, oh, you did. We're going.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, but I see it as just that, what everybody's talking about. I think the circumstances of now, and they have to let everything else play out to see where they're going to do with the story. Instead of just pushing it and writing it and saying, this is where we're going. There's too much now. So of course there wouldn't be a script or anything else. And I think everybody has to calm down on that part, because unfortunately with stuff being canceled and everything, these hate fans are actually feeling like they do run shit around.
Oh, they fist pump at any kind of side of like
it's being canceled. That's not what's happening. Yeah. But instead, it's actually getting looked at a lot slower this time and letting things develop before it actually takes place.
Quality over quantity. And if they did that same kind of attitude with the sequels, we might have been in a better boat if they just sat on it a little bit and refined that script, or just did something, massaged it a little bit more. So honestly, I know like the chat, is saying stuff, but with this type of movie, and except we say Rey movie because it's just Daisy Ridley's attached to it. Take your time with it. This is not something that we're really really important for us as Star Wars fans to really get that kind of
Mandoverse and Ahsoka.
Yeah. And that brings us to the Mandoverse in general. Okay. So the Mando Grogu movie again, it kind of like goes with that New Jedi Order rumor of like they're pushing Mando Grogu because they're not ready for Rey. All right. Well, that's other people saying that. They also the major thing is what's out there, and who knows if this is real or not either, but they're saying this movie is going to be the last of their focused series / movie, whatever. So the Mando Grogu movie is going to be it for Mando Grogu when it comes solely focused on them, and they're just going to be intertwined in stories moving forward as appearances, i.e. Luke, Ahsoka, that's the rumor.
So the rumor then is it will be that and no longer a Mando season 4 following the movie.
Right. Yeah, so this is their final adventure as our focused. And then when we see him next, when we see any of them next, it's going to be in Ahsoka or...
And it didn't say Grogu. It specifically said Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
It specifically said not the Mandalorian, it said Din Djarin.
Yeah. My thought is that they're going to use Grogu for the in Rey. Like I said, the propelling. See, if the Rey movie is a launch pad, to propel a time jump, a major time jump. I'm talking 300-year time jump for the new Jedi Order. If Rey has this movie is this setup, and this is what they read, right? It's like, okay, we need a foundational movie that we're going to propel 300 years, where now we have Grogu as a adult, in his race, and that is the anchor of the new Jedi Order that's what it lasted a long time, and now we have a brand new sketch pad of Star Wars called the new Jedi Order, and that might be a direction they go.
They need to. They have a vessel there in Grogu that can last 900 years.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah.
I love the idea. I really do. But is it? I don't know. Is he more Mandalorian than Jedi now?
That's the conflict I think we need to figure out. Yeah,
well,
we need to figure that out. Yeah.
There's the thing too, is if Rey's is a new Jedi Order and all these Jedi are out there, why didn't Grogu help build a Jedi Order? So he must be more Mando, or the Grogu movie, because they keep saying Din Djarin will show up by himself, right? That's what they said. Grogu goes back to Luke's academy and then gets wiped out by Ben.
No,
because that's going to happen at some point in our time in this Mandoverse.
Yeah.
I got a question in all this.
So,
honestly speaking, in the way that things are now and everything, do you feel we've left the Mandoverse too long? And when this all comes out, people are not going to be interested anymore?
I think it's too long, but it has. I mean, not too long, but it's been a long time. It's like it needs.
In this day and age of how we ride things out, I mean, like this last, Stranger Things, and we have the new one. Yeah. I don't hear as much hype for the Stranger Things.
I understand.
The last one happened, and it kind of like, it was Stranger Things, and it was too much, and everybody watched it. And it was like a week of, Stranger Things, and now I feel like at this time of people, like everybody was on the hype train of Mandalorian. Have we had that too much long of a break?
Yeah, because I don't think so. The same thing too.
Well, Cobra Kai is. I'm sorry, Cobra Kai is crap. The newest season of Cobra Kai is awful.
That's why I lost it. I tried to watch.
I hated it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm glad you guys are saying that, because I was like, please don't like it. It's so bad.
Yeah, the 2 episodes in, and I'm like, I'm done. This is just stupid.
Yeah.
We are used to 2 to 3 year breaks between Star Wars episodes, right? And we're getting movies, right?
We are Gen X's.
Still, okay. Even then, Gen X is right, but we're also used to 2 years between sequel movies too. We're used to, and that's the current generation. We're used to gaps in Star Wars content as far as movies go. So, I mean, essentially, a Mandalorian season is like almost like a trilogy in itself. The amount of time we've got. So, I don't think a couple years off is really going to affect it that much. Well, I think the hype for the characters is still there.
So I think maybe the problem is saying Mandoverse thinking just Mandalorian, right? Because the Mandoverse also encompasses Ahsoka, and we just had that.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yes. It's
once a year basically is how it's going. Book of Boba Fett's Mandoverse that took one of the years. The other Mandos. So I mean, it's taken a long time. I don't think too long. I think because we're getting stuff every year. And the difference between Stranger Things is we have a different whole IP, right? Where things come out, this / Andor. What do we just have? Acolyte. All this other stuff to keep our Star Wars going. There's nothing to keep Stranger Things going.
Right. But here's my overall take on the Mandalorian seasons and whatever. Now, after the season 3 wrapped up and everything, right? And now with the announcement of the movie and stuff, and we were kind of speculating on the fact like it could just be a side mission, then we get back to a season 4. Then I started really thinking like, what else do we need out of these two? What else do we need out of a Mandalorian season that's going to propel anything further of season 5 and season 6 and keep going and going and going? I'm in the school of get it done. Look, and that's just me again. And this is not business talk. This is fan talk, and this is creativity side of it. I'm okay with a movie finalizing that duo, and then wherever they go, because I don't know where else we're going to be going with the Mandalorian himself now, because they set up a lot of points with the Darksaber, Mandalore, Grogu, Luke, and a lot of points, and he has not picked a path at all. And so even if season 4 comes, or even the movie comes and he picks a path, now we're going to be on 4 more seasons of that path. I don't know how far and more interested I'm going to be in a Mandalorian adventure. What I just got was epic, I thought. And I'm more interested now on seeing him intertwined with the rest of
Thrawn,
things being built.
yeah.
Shuffle him into the mix.
And that's the rumor, and someone mentioned too is that Grogu is Rick Jones saying Grogu, the merchandising. And again, I get it. And I think it'll always be, but the time that it's lapsing, I think it's going to be where season 4, I don't know what they're going to do and how much more they can energize this duo anymore. Now, the
only thing they could do is the Carson Teva stuff, Nick Fury, and that's it.
Yeah, take the characters now from Mandalorian and dice, and then scattershot them throughout the galaxy. Now, not just this concentrated effort. Now, Mando's over here, Grogu's over here, Carson Teva's over here. Now you're intertwining with the Ghost crew. You know what I mean? We've got Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka should be the new flagship myself instead of Mandalorian. Mandalorian did its job as this foundation. It was great. So now we could get these characters talking to each other.
So what do you think that looks like? I mean, because we know we're building
Heir to the Empire movie. Yeah.
Right. We're building up to that, but you've got, I mean, look at it like the original trilogy and the prequels and all that. We had a core cast of like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
And then everything right now, if we go with what we've got a pretty large core cast of characters, right? I mean, we've got everyone from Din Djarin to Bo-Katan to Ahsoka, Sabine, Hera, Carson Teva. We've got all these different characters.
What?
Right. I forgot about him. Sorry.
Who?
You're getting an epic size Game of Thrones style cast going here, right?
Yeah.
Where you're going to need a flow chart to keep track of where everybody is at any given time.
Yeah.
Plus, Ahsoka's on this end of the galaxy. Everybody else is over here.
Right. Yeah.
How does it all fit in if they're just gonna move to a movie?
It's kind of neat because the other shows take care of it, right?
Yeah.
The Grogu Mando movie is a piece of the verse.
As long as they man up and let them all intertwine with one another, because the Marvel TV shows do a shit job whenever it comes to uniting with the movies, right? There's a lot of promises of things. I think the only one that really worked was WandaVision, right? WandaVision led into Doctor Strange, and that's it.
I honestly think the Grogu Mando movie is going to do exactly what you said. It's going to put this adventure of them doing their thing, but it's going to scattershot. It's going to propel them into the Ahsoka series, like Hal Runner is talking about. Or cult leader. Sorry, Din Djarin needs to be in a big battle with Thrawn.
You need to set instead of just having we had an established rebellion in the original trilogy, right? The reason we had 4 main characters is because we needed somebody to focus on. Here it's a little different. We've had all these shows to build on. We don't have a necessary army because it's been demilitarized. We know right? There's really no big baddie. So once the baddie comes, now it's time to pull the crew together. And then you've got instead of working in small groups, like you said, the 4 main guys, you talk about the 4 groups of people: the Mandalorians, the underground, the gangsters with Boba, the Carson Teva and the police, basically. With Mando now, because Mando's a part of him. Yeah. Right. And so that's where that goes. You start building the groups to go against Thrawn, and then the
Mandalorians.
Jedi. And then the Jedi as the fourth bit. You're going to have at least 3 or 4 Jedi at this time.
Yeah, like I said, I think a season 5 of Mandalorian, you're going back to what season 1 set up. He's just doing jobs and living and trying to do.
Yeah, if you started a whole season, if it wasn't exactly if each episode wasn't a damn it, I'm in.
Yeah,
if you didn't get the smack every time, I'm in.
Yeah,
exactly. It just wouldn't work because it had to be that every week. You're bringing.
He was working towards a goal, and I think he got the goal. And like I said, they set up Mandalore, they set up Bo-Katan, they set up a lot of things, and we got a lot of answers. We got a lot of closure to it. So recreating more problems, except for the problem that just arrived, which was Thrawn on Dathomir with the Night Sisters. That is something brand new, and I don't want
the threat.
Yeah, and again, and I guess I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, we know where the events lead up to, which is the First Order and the sequel stuff. If Thrawn has a direct hand in that, where's Snoke, where's the Emperor? Like I at this point, like we can bring all this stuff in, and some people will die within this adventure. I could see Din Djarin dying. I can't see Grogu dying. I could see Grogu being propelled off and doing something way in the future, but having a hand in some of the things. He's still going to be way too young in the events of the sequels, but
it'll be the death of Din. It'll be the death of Din Djarin that catapults him off into his own.
And then that's when he'll discover I'm gonna be a Jedi with Mandalorian traits again. You know what I mean? And bring back that concept art of that.
I'm gonna be the only Jedi Mandalorian except for Sabine.
Yeah, exactly. Which is I didn't like that.
There's
I still
only
don't
been
like
one
it.
ever until we got Grogu.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now
exactly.
Sabine.
Cult leader.
One of note that we know of, right? I mean, Tar Vizsla, who made the dark saber. We don't know if there was any others after.
It could have
him.
been clear that he was like the only
focused.
Mandalorian Jedi, though. I'm pretty sure that's been like literally said, like the only Mandalorian Jedi.
I don't know.
You can fact check me all you want. Check it because I'm pretty sure. I think we've always said that, and we've always known that. So if there has been another one, but have two in the same exact space of time is weird.
Well,
Not to bitch about that. shit
Boba
right
Fett's
now,
like a Jedi.
No.
Boba Fett's not even like a
Boba Fett-
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but he unite them all though.
Sure.
No, what we have to do, what has to happen, not
Yeah,
unite
there's
them.
chance.
We have to have a reckoning with Boba and Luke. We need to have them face
Mm.
off, not a fight, but they need to
That'd be
sort their
fun.
shit out. We need to see that, right?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Boba would just say, "Okay, yeah, hi." Boba would.
I have a beef with you. No, you don't. Maybe I don't.
Or no, he does his whole apology and says, "I'm going to fight with you." That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
And Luke says, "Who are you?" And then all of a sudden, "Oh, sorry." And then
Wait a
he
minute.
puts on the helmet. Yeah, and it's like,
Oh, you're that guy.
oh,
Oh.
my
I
bad
caught your
about
line
Oh,
once.
that one. Got it. Got it.
my bad about the Sarlacc pit, bro.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
yeah. It was actually Han Solo who hit his
Yeah,
jetpack.
yeah.
So wouldn't
Yeah,
be a
but
beef with Luke, but
they
yeah.
won't bring Han if we've only had Luke. So
Well,
you know.
I
Luke
wish
kind of
that-
orchestrated the whole
Oh
thing.
my god, that'd be even better, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
like with Luke and Han, for some reason, somehow we got Han in there in the mix, and they're together. And Boba
I've
Fett
been
walks in the
waiting for
room,
Han.
right? You get Han, but
Do
you get Boba Fett with
something.
Han.
Hey
The
man,
de-aging,
I happened to
whatever.
glance over at the new Indiana Jones again. And it was just on. I just glanced over them all. That de-aging is awesome. Like it's
Yeah,
there.
it is.
They
As long as
have
they
it.
use the
They can-
voice, the younger
Yes,
voice.
The voice is.
But we've
yeah.
talked about it before though too, because I would still be happy with movie Han somehow.
Young Han. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhino
Oh, same,
Hobbies.
same here.
That should be a show. Sabine and Grogu, a Mandalorian with no Force powers, and a Force user who wants to be a Mandalorian. Yeah,
Well,
but
I
yeah,
mean,
Sabine has powers.
She didn't have Force powers. Now
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, she didn't, and all of a sudden, boom, and now she's
She tossed the Jedi.
she tossed it. Yeah,
Yeah. Why didn't he just toss
Hey,
himself?
she's a
It's a good
Vizsla.
toss.
There you go.
She's a Vizsla,
It's in
yeah.
her
Yeah.
genes.
Yeah, it's
So-
Vizslas and Skywalkers, just magic
yeah.
and Palpatines.
again, I'm always on that thought of like, let's see what happens with Sabine and all that stuff. But I as of now, I'm against that kind of decision with her in general. Not anything to do because I don't like the character. I love Sabine, but it's a lot to do with just like, come on, that's way too easy. That's a cop out to me. It was too easy.
I agree. I've been
I'm-
that way the
yeah,
whole time.
I'm in
Yeah.
the middle of rewatching Rebels again, and it's all there. The discussions that she had with Kanan when she was training with the Darksaber, it's all there.
It's all there, but
at the same time, she didn't display the ability of the Force, and he's like, the Force is in everybody, and
yeah, I don't like
the
that.
ability to access.
I
it.
never liked that. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I've
If
never liked
everybody's
that.
Blame the
super,
midichlorians.
nobody is. Again, right? It's all. I can't let
hey,
everybody be a Jedi.
If that's the case, if anybody has the potential to be a Jedi or a Force user, then the Emperor would have killed everybody in the galaxy. Because why just round out Force users or people who are showing and just like everybody has the potential, so march this way. It's like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're saying it right there. It's true. Everybody has midichlorians in them. It's just the M count levels. It's how they are able to commune with the
Yeah.
Force.
I don't
George
like
Lucas did it himself.
I know.
don't
I'm just
either.
saying.
I
I'm just
don't
saying,
like
I-
it either.
yeah,
but
I
it
just,
exists. We all have midichlorians. It's just
Yeah,
whether or not we can talk to the Force.
Therefore, Omega is going to be throwing rocks pretty soon. So,
Omega.
She's
throwing hands.
She took off.
oh, I do
Yeah.
want to kind of
Andor.
segue.
She'll be in Andor.
Yeah, she'd be with Cal Kestis.
Yeah, and then we start getting magic, dude. Then we start getting people like up in
Yeah.
Andor. We're like, oh, wait a second, this is cool.
Yeah. How
This
Runner
is a
saying
great show.
talent is a factor. Well, yeah, it was explained it
we
was
get
kind
the
of like,
explanation. It's
yeah,
just horseshit.
yeah.
It's just-
Yeah.
I
Mark
understand.
Mark Jones is checking in. Make an Imperial movie.
Hey,
We got a few of
well,
those.
they just tried to make a Sith show and it didn't.
They
work out
tried to make a
the
dark side
Yeah.
show.
Tales of the
fandom.
Empire
It
didn't
didn't-
quite.
It's almost like the opposite of Rogue One, right? Like the Emperor's first victory against the Alliance would be like something.
Or they start getting rocked. You're on the side when they start getting rocked. You're like, wait a second, did we just take a hit? What is
Yeah.
that? Like
It-
they're right in that
he's-
time.
He's also saying no Sith, which I mean that so he's looking
Empire,
for an Andor
yeah.
show an
Yeah.
Andor show that focuses on Dedra and all of those characters.
The ISB.
Yeah.
More interesting still.
I want to see a day on the Death Star, so I'll take it. I could just moved into my place.
I just want the sitcom.
My
to be on
friends
the Death
live on
Star.
different levels. Yeah,
We're getting a
Yeah.
sitcom in Skeleton Crew, so that's going to be a thing.
That's not a
Um,
sitcom.
but
I would
I
love
do-
to see that.
I do want to segue into our homework assignment, which was revisiting Kenobi.
Oh, real quick,
because-
before there was one more
Okay.
rumor. Taika Waititi's through.
Oh yeah, so here's where I can fist
That's
bump.
about
Oh,
everything,
Thank
though,
you.
right?
I think his career is through.
Right.
Oh.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That
Yeah.
rumor is everything, not just
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It was
like-
Star Wars specific, but it was Star Wars because of his downward career path.
Yeah.
Like since Ragnarok, he's been a mess. Is basically the word. And
Yeah.
they
Okay.
put him in,
All
so-
right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I
we
was
also
okay
do
with
TV shows,
Ragnarok.
man.
Even
So
if he
that
was
is
on an
still
upward path, I would be okay with it. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't think his type of humor fits with Star Wars. I just
It
don't.
doesn't.
Um,
No.
acting
If-
fine,
if
but
he-
not. Yeah.
If he knew how to tell a joke and walk away from it, it might work. But he likes to, beat the tauntaun, as we say. Beat the dead tauntaun over and over with the same joke. And
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
I say Fathier, but whatever. I'm a sequel guy.
Nobody says father. Nobody says father.
All right, new shirt.
I say
We have to put on the
Farva.
store. Chris
I'm
is
a sequel guy.
I'm a sequel guy.
No, that's not selling.
That's
You put all three. I'm a prequel guy. I'm an OT guy, and I'm a
that would
sequel
be
guy.
kind of cool, right?
Or gal.
Let's see which one. Oh man, but okay.
Or
So
human.
when we brought up Omega and we brought up the path and everything, this is where I was starting to during our homework assignment we revisited Kenobi. And it was just fun to kind of like revisit and see how it holds up, because last week we kind of discussed a possibility. Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor were again touting that they wanted to come back and do a Kenobi 2, and they had a lot of fun with it. And we've always been at that kind of wall where, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think it was good what you gave us, and let's leave on that note. Is there more story to be told? Now let's go back to this revisiting the Kenobi. Now, I think overall, I am doing a 180 on Kenobi a lot, because I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was great. But now I'm thinking it was actually really good, and it's the highlights of it that is really good. It's still, the lows are still low for me, and it's the Inquisitors and Reva's redemption, not her redemption story. There's one thing about Reva that I'm going to do a 180 on, or not a 180. I'm going to a straightforward path, but 180 on. Okay, I get her revenge tactic on Vader and Obi-Wan and Jedi in general. I get that. Okay, what I don't get, and maybe I missed it, maybe you guys can help me out with this, is she seems to know that Leia was important. She didn't probably know that it was Anakin's kid, but she was taken to Alderaan, and kidnapping her would bring Obi-Wan out of hiding. What the, like, come on, where is that?
She was a friend. The way she had said it, and I get you. It's because she was a friend of that family. He was a friend of that family.
Bail Organa, yeah.
And by going after his kid, that would pull Kenobi out of hiding.
Okay,
he's the last. He's because Organa was a connection to the Jedi. He was close to the Jedi.
Yes.
So
okay, so
play.
so that's where I didn't get where, because she said something about through
It's
the
a
archives.
stretch.
I found
It's
out.
totally, dude.
Yeah, because
it's a stretch, but it's
because
there.
she found out Anakin is Vader's through the archives. That's what she said to Kenobi or whoever. She admitted. I remember hearing her
It wasn't
saying,
through the archives. It was just her figuring it out. He said you would have had to been there. He's all, and then he goes through this process of figuring out. You would have been a Padawan. You were in the room. That whole thing. And then, but it was like, why do you know he's Vader though? That's two things I have with that part. Why do we know that? And I get the revenge. It would just been on Kenobi would have been fine. for letting Anakin snap. I would have been okay with that if she came after him. I didn't have a problem with Reva at all. That part and Tatooine with her made no sense. The last Tatooine with Luke. Take that out, you don't lose a thing in the show.
I think if you took Reva out of the whole thing, but again, there's that plot of getting Obi-Wan out of hiding. So I get, like, after watching, because this is my initial arguments on it or thoughts on it were those was Reva's motivation stuff. Yeah. But rewatching, I really had to concentrate on her motive, her tactics, because I'm sitting there going like, okay, look, she became an Inquisitor to get close to Vader so she can kill him, but also is using Anakin's biggest threat, which is Kenobi, right? But then when she thought Kenobi was dead after episode 3, because she did think he was dead because Vader had Kenobi, she was still after this path and interrogating Leia on where is everybody else. I'm like, okay, but like your motivation is twofold. Then you're either full on Inquisitor mode where you're gonna hunt all the Jedi, or you're because like you've already it didn't make any sense. She didn't go full on of her initial revenge tactic of getting close to Vader. It was still on this path of, I need the path, I need all names, I need to go hunt them all down, even though Kenobi is in our grasp. And that lost me a little bit, where I was like, okay, it needs to be like her role needed to be focused on her revenge on Vader. That's what it needed to be. But they went really broad with it, and it was like a little too much.
Yeah, I don't honestly, personally, I don't think she was necessary to the overall story. You didn't need her to bring Obi-Wan and Vader together. You could have done that just with Vader and his other Inquisitors out there hunting Jedi. You didn't need that extra story. It was like trying to bring in it was trying to bring in more of a human touch to an Inquisitor, I think, trying to humanize an Inquisitor, but it didn't. It didn't. I don't think it hit the mark. For me personally, after rewatching it, it was fine. She was fine. She wasn't terrible. She wasn't great. Some of the effects still kind of killed it for me.
Oh God, yes, I really had
specifically, the Inquisitorium or whatever the hell the Inquisitors.
Fortress Inquisitorius,
with the snow speeders come in, and they didn't even look like the toys that we had. They looked like the freaking die-cast miniatures that we had.
The Micro Galaxy
in two different scenes. Yeah, that and when Vader pulled the thing, right? The depth perception is way off.
The depth perception, the CGI was very TV-ish. I mean, the whole episode did read as a TV show, like a classic 80s TV show.
It kind of was.
I mean, it is on it. 100% is a TV show, but like when you watch Andor and Ahsoka, and that did not feel like
cinematic.
Reva overall doesn't bother me. I think some tweaking to the script, some reworking of the character would have made it better. Because you're right, it's crap or get off the pot. Make up your mind. What are you? Are you an Inquisitor? Are you?
Because there was a point. Yeah, it was a point where she's like full on. We get her reasoning to going back and kidnapping Leia to bring Obi-Wan to bring to Vader so she get favor so she can kill Vader. That's what her motivation was. But then there was this episodes 4 and 5 where she was hunting Jedi without that motivation anymore, and it was. Here's the path. I need names. I need to go after these people. And it was kind of like, okay, but that killed your motivation for me as a viewer. Again, I get like maybe it was a cover, but she was doing it solely with nobody watching. You know what I mean? She interrogated Leia, but no one else knew about this. It's like, anyway, I'll move on from that. But that was just something overall. I really felt for Obi-Wan, and I got it, Chris, this time around. Honestly, this time around, I understood more and more and more about Leia and Kenobi and that connection, and that storyline was fantastic.
It changes the initial "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope."
Yes,
switches back to Obi-Wan. She does it all official, and then it hits you because then you look at his face when he's an old man.
Oh God!
And then I'm like, everything changes, right? Perception just changed, and nothing changed. Yeah. Nothing changed in this 47-year-old movie, but you watch it and you're like, "Damn it!"
Oh yeah,
no, adds a new perspective.
So,
and doing a rewatch like this, because I didn't just do a rewatch just to do it. I was like hyper focused on it, right? I was hyper focused on Obi-Wan's just the acting itself and the character going through these motions and how he fought it, like, use somebody else. I'm here looking after the boy. I don't want to do this. It's Leia's on her own. And then to come to the grips of like, she's equally as important as Luke is to be hidden and safe. And that really changed Obi-Wan's character for me a lot, and I get the whole cutting off from the Force, and it was really good. Again, puts it in huge perspective when you go back to the original trilogy and everything else. So just real fast, Eli Martin's checking in, but he also said, and this is kind of interesting, the Patterson cut of Kenobi is great. He even redid some virtual effects, and damn, I don't know how he made it look so good. Like, he's one guy that did the same thing for Anakin's scene in Ahsoka, and my jaw dropped on the floor. That would be great. And again, you could probably take episode 4 and get it and cut it really down, and it might run better with Reva's character story.
I've always liked Kenobi. I thought Kenobi was good. My take on it was it looked like TV.
Yeah,
was the problem. And it was mainly, to me, was the lightsaber fights, the lighting, because it was different than any other lighting we'd ever seen. They were outside, right? And the lights we got were like episode 2 Dooku, Anakin. Where the light that was very much like that, but brighter and outside. It was. I know it was natural because that's how it should look, right? But it was overly natural. It was too much. So that was the main thing. Reva last time I didn't love, and I caught myself this time, and I'm gonna admit it this time. It was on me. I was into the middle of, why are we doing this again? Why are we switching everybody to a female and a person of color and blah blah blah? That was me. I did it. I realize now I did it. Yeah. Right. Because I watched it and I'm on, nah, she's pretty cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm totally rad. I put myself in this. I started putting that character into different skins. Right. I'm like, it was a black dude. No, I'd be totally in. Right.
Yeah.
White dude. Totally in. If it was a dude, I would have been totally in. I pulled that. That was me on that one.
Yeah.
So I watched her this time. Totally cool. Until the stupid redemption shit. Well, I let her live. They should have let the Inquisitor kill her, or Vader let them kill her again.
Yeah, because it didn't need. Yeah, exactly. If she died right there on episode 5 when Vader stabbed her, right,
which was an awesome fight,
which was great. Yeah. If she died right there, that would have been fine. Because there's two things that stick out to me again where it's I don't know why I'm putting myself in the character's position. Obi-Wan lets Reva go after just barely almost killing Luke. And then so now there's another person that knows who these kids are.
Right.
And you move away.
Yeah, right.
And after Owen and Beru couldn't find them, we're out searching for 50 feet around the homestead. They weren't even in the mountains, right? Obi-Wan made it across the fucking galaxy by the time she got from the Lars homestead to the mountains.
Yeah,
right? These guys are still there.
Yeah,
why? But then right when he comes back, he's all, you know what? I trust you now.
I'm gonna go away, and now I'm gonna leave this person out. I'm just gonna leave her out, and now knowing that I'm here protecting, it was a
made
weird
no sense.
Yeah.
We also don't know what happened after that scene, because I don't believe that Obi-Wan just let her go and let her do her own thing, right? I mean, there's some time from that point where Obi-Wan goes back to Alderaan, right?
Yeah,
and gives Leia back her little droid.
Yeah.
So is it that he took Reva to meet up with the path, whatever the path is?
Have her memory wiped.
We're gonna get Reva back in the path in an animated form or whatever this means, right?
I think wasn't she written originally to die? She was supposed to die. The Tatooine scenes feel
they do it all the time.
The Tatooine scenes feel like an afterthought. Like, hey, you know what? Let's do some reshoots. Let's add this.
That's true. It felt like the series was already wrapped. It
could have ended right after.
We just needed to put a bow on it.
Yeah. The whole battle with Lars and like that. Honestly, it could have ended after Obi-Wan came in Vader's conflict. He left Vader, and then he went and delivered Leia back home. And it really could have ended that way.
Luke, if you need to show Owen and Beru protecting Luke, sand people.
Yeah, it could have just been what they were
completely different
lying about. Yeah,
a completely different
Hellrunner base. Reva actually stayed on Tatooine to protect Luke. She eventually joined the Tusken tribe that Boba later joins. She turns out to be the badass.
Oh, okay.
Book of Boba Fett.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I'm serious. I'll buy
And
that.
once again, Book of Boba Fett is bringing everything together. Just like I said. I always say that, and you guys won't take it. Yeah.
How right.
It
The
is.
Inquisitors are people too. Jeez.
My only thing with the whole thing is I would still love if they went back and redid the Grand Inquisitor.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sorry,
Oh,
but
Grant.
knowing everything that we could do, or we brought up that comment about somebody changing the effects and everything. We've seen that happen.
Yeah.
I've seen a cut where all you had to do was like stretch it and make it, and it matched. And
Yeah. And also,
That
I would have
does-
never stabbed him. I would have
it
never.
really does feel a little off.
Bait and
to me,
switch.
Dude,
as
Grievous
far
got
as
stabbed in the stomach,
what
the
we've seen.
Inquisitor.
You're
Yeah,
right.
the
You're right,
bean.
Ernie, you're right.
Y-
We
yeah,
had 3 in this series. Her as a kid, him and her. How
Yeah.
somebody die.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
they,
come on.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not cool anymore to have this. Aha, I'm back. Well,
Yeah.
what the hell, you guys? No,
I
I'm
have
back.
37 stomachs and they're all in my feet.
The
exactly.
the Leia thing we've talked about it before is awesome, but for the sequels to hear Ben Solo really makes
Yeah.
it something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Really makes it something.
She named her
of
kid
Ben.
after
Correct.
her Jedi buddy.
It never
Yeah.
made sense to call him Ben after Obi-Wan because
Wait,
Luke
wow.
is the only one
That-
that called him that. Now
Right.
it's like,
Yep.
Wow.
why wouldn't you?
Correct.
Right?
No,
Correct.
that's
Why?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that is
And that kid,
my thing on it.
that kid is such a great actor. I
Yeah.
mean,
It was
for
awesome.
no, it was
yeah,
like
Yeah.
everybody studies like Ewan McGregor has studied Sir Alec Guinness, right? Well, she nailed Carrie Fisher's perform and that attitude, the just the strong personality.
Yeah.
What got me was Obi-Wan's speech to her at the end, the very end, when like I know I
oh yeah, I
you
knew
got
your
these traits
parents,
from your
yeah.
mother and you got these traits from your father, and I was
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah,
like
that, love it. That one and the "Are you my father?" On
Yeah,
yeah.
like both every conversation they really had, and then, I love
yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
Everything.
No,
Then you
it-
kind
it-
of got to see her force power without knowing it was a force power, right? Her
you know that
intuition.
intuition, right?
with her
Almost like-
cousin,
yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
with Obi-Wan later,
Yes,
the way
yes.
she speaks. How old are you?
yeah, yeah.
10.
He should have known that by anyway, because he knows
It was a
twins.
sarcastic comment. He was being.
I was taking it literally.
Oh no, he was being silly because she was talking like she was 80.
Yeah,
yeah.
Talking like
he could have
Yoda.
just said something like, "Damn, you're old for 10."
It wasn't as cute. Wouldn't have got to,
I get you, but no, I actually had a lot of fun revisiting because again, I had fun with it. I was never against Obi-Wan. I was just one of those things where I go, all right, I watched it, and did I mean, beside the Vader and Luke,
we gave it a win.
Oh, yeah.
when we
No,
did that
100%.
episode, right? It's a win.
like I said, beside the battle scenes, the fight scenes, epic, absolutely,
they really
absolutely epic, especially Obi-Wan
Gruesome.
finally get his and getting his powers
Yeah.
back, to the full.
Dropping his ass in the fire and holding him in it and pulling him
brutal.
in it.
I mean,
is-
I'm going to
kidding
treat
me?
you just like it treated me. Again, the only other thing is like my friend is truly gone. He's truly dead. I killed Anakin, not you. That kind of stuff. It really was.
and that
heartfelt.
really helped the certain point of view.
It
Right?
does.
And he said, "You didn't kill Anakin. I did." He just said Anakin's dead. Anakin
Yeah.
told him he's dead.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
exactly.
gonna tell Luke.
Exactly.
His dad.
No,
And he
it-
calls him Darth. Yeah.
Darth at the end. No,
Great
hit.
point.
They hit every
Yeah.
beat
Yeah.
that what
They
they needed to
hit.
do to propel a New Hope.
And the
100%.
Darth was sarcastic, right? Right.
Yeah.
Like he took it like Darth. Like, bitch.
Which you guys talked last week about whether or not you think there should be a season 2 to Kenobi, and all of these points that we hit is why I don't think we should have a season 2 of Kenobi. I think it's great where it's at. If you want to revisit anything, if you want to expand anything of his
Yeah.
life on Tatooine, do a movie, I guess. If you
Well,
want to
I
do
just
like
don't
a
know
made for
where you
Disney
would
Plus
go with
movie,
it.
I
You know
don't
what
think
mean?
we need.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we need it.
Like
Now, if you want to do
Yeah.
a Vader, just be in Vader, cool. But we also,
yeah.
I don't think
Like I said, sometimes less is more. Like, and I think for the initial time where it was like, he spent 20 years or 18 years on Tatooine looking over Luke, just this crazy old hermit that lives out past the Dune Sea, and he's known in town as this crazy old wizard kind of deal. That helped me in my imagination to when I was watching, like, kind of put where exactly this was, this kind of side adventure. After the fact, I'm like, all right, this was good. A little too close to spoiling everything, which is great. On a teeter of like they're gonna know these kids are alive. They're gonna know why he's on Tatooine. We did not need Vader on Tatooine, and I feel like you get more of these adventures, and I think it gets now you're really going on a fine line of like, it's not going to be working as much as when we give a gap in our own headspace of where these characters are. You don't have to fill in every blank. You know,
you water them down. You water the characters down. You water Vader down. The more you see him, the more less is more. Whenever it comes, to Vader, look at Rogue One.
Yeah, I agree with this. I feel too much Vader can be bad. I agree. I when he came in on Rogue One, even the spots on Rogue One, because he didn't carry that movie, but it was just like when he was on. Every time he was on screen, it punched you in the stomach, and we don't need this day-to-day activities. Like we were going on with Obi Wan, we were doing day-to-day activities, but Obi Wan's a different character. Like that's a different.
We need to see him in a mundane situation, what his life is now.
Yeah,
we know what Vader's life is. It's hell, right?
Yeah, and I feel like put this in perspective. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but most of the greatest villains that are ever on screen, you barely see. It's when you start following them around, that's when it gets a little too watered down stuff. The new Beetlejuice movie, Michael Keaton has promised Timber, I'll come back if you don't put me in it as much. Like, don't put me in the movie, even though it's called Beetlejuice, but because I don't want it just to be about me and what I'm doing. Because then again, when he's on screen, it's not special anymore. You know what I mean?
Vader had this much time in A New Hope,
right?
Yeah,
and even in Empire Strikes Back, he had a lot more screen time and return, but it just meant so much. But there was gaps in there, so when he was on there, you sat up and were like, I got to hear everything this dude is saying.
Like you said, Rogue One was the same. Kenobi, they kept into the fights, really, and here and there with the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Every time it was choking somebody out, telling somebody off, or fighting somebody, right? And then in Rebels, every time he was on was something really freaking cool.
And they could have used him all season, but they didn't. That's why they brought in the Inquisitors.
And again,
so they would have
have to kill.
And
Vader.
sorry, Ernie, this is exactly what happened to Boba Fett. The Book of Fett.
Yep.
They put too much of him on screen. This guy was a mysterious character.
Not enough.
Mysterious character. And so what did they do? They gave him a personality. They gave him a story. They gave him a motivation.
Somebody should have given him a personality.
And so maybe, And so now we look at it going like, well, he doesn't really fit that whole, most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy role anymore. To me, it's like very watered down. And that's
a hug. Yeah. Go to Tatooine. Boba's got him.
Exactly.
That's how I feel now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still good parts to it, Ernie. But I think that's the trade-off you get when you. So if they came up with a series called Vader, we'll be expected to follow Vader, not just to have him in as little bit. And I like to have him as little bit, but more powerful. So
that's one of the reasons why the comic book has kind of sucked so much, though, is because I feel like
it's just every scene.
He's been watered down so much, and they bring in Ochi of Bestoon to kind of be his foil, and it's his. He's the comedy guy to Vader's straight man, and it's just like this. Is stupid.
And then you have Kira besting him on things. It's like, come on.
Kira, and I don't. Okay, here I go again. Kira, Reva, and Dr. Aphra can all handle Vader somehow.
Yeah,
Dr. Aphra is. Dr. Aphra, she's the one character that still works in that aspect because she's terrified of Vader. So she does anything and everything she can to get on his good side. So whenever she does eventually screw him over, she could run really fast to get away from him before he kills her.
Wasn't there a point where he tried to kill her and didn't, and she survived it, if I recall? Sent her out to
just got away. I think she just got away because she just came back again.
Either way, she escaped his death, his kill. Yeah. Right? If he tries to kill anybody else besides Luke, you're pretty much dead.
But that whole dynamic,
Reva twice.
Yeah, but Dr. Aphra and Vader's dynamic was always like, "I'm gonna die after this mission. You're gonna kill me." And so it was like this thing, and Vader was like,
her.
But she knew as soon as this is done, I'm dead. And so there was this self-preservation thing to go around and causing more like no, we're not done yet, it's like that prolonging that whole thing, and it was a great dynamic, in that aspect, Vader still
those comics are so bad right now. I mean, they're bad.
And okay, chicken, pork, adobo. Again, probably one of the greatest names that I see on. I love it. But as much as I complain about Reva, yes, I am always in the line of I need closure on or a continuation. Just tell me where these people are. Omega, Fennec, Boba, all these people I need to know. I don't stop. Even Osha and May, even the stranger. And I mean, I just hate the fact that they can do this and then just never and just walk away from it completely. So
you really can't walk away from it completely when you have a IP that's so canon centric and multimedia, right? You have to close it up. It might not be the same media we got it in. Although they've done it with Solo. Well, Solo they kind of do it with the Crimson Dawn stuff, right? I mean, a little bit. It's not Han centric, but it's that story centric. So they keep it going. The same thing could happen here with Reba, the Path, all this stuff. They're going to keep it going somehow.
Yeah. Hal Runner. Where is Vanessa? I need to know. I need to know.
Yoda choked her out, right? We just didn't see the rest of the scene.
Yoda, because we don't know if that's Yoda.
What you did? Boom. Snap.
What Nobody are you talking about? Yeah.
It's that is one of those things though, because Vernestra, that actor was awful for that part. But the idea of what happened between her and the stranger, who you assume is her Padawan, is intriguing, and that's what I want to know. Yeah, that's what I want to know. That's what pisses me off about the whole No More Acolyte. Is there was a lot of questions that were still intriguing. Overall, it wasn't great, but there were some really cool aspects of that show that could use some answers.
Yeah, and it's not that hard to wrap it up too. It really isn't. Like I said, it's for hypothetically, if we gave us a season 2, in the first episode, you can wrap up a lot of those and then go on to something different. You really could, absolutely, and move on. But what would be a homework assignment for the future? I'm not saying that we're going to do this for next week, but what series, and the pit, let us know too. What series could we explore? We've got Ahsoka. We can explore. We got Andor. We probably should.
I'm on Andor right now.
You're on Andor now. Yeah. I don't want to go through Rebels and Clone Wars again. That's just too long of a bit.
I'm up with Rebels. I'm rewatching Rebels right now. I mean, season 4.
I can talk those.
I can talk through it.
I don't need to revisit them. I mean, they're epic.
I'll watch them again.
Honestly, we should do Resistance just for torture purposes. Hey, if I'm not gonna say it, but I'll do it.
While we're at it, let's watch Return to Endor.
If the pit wants us to revisit Resistance, then we will revisit Resistance.
That's messed up. It's messed up. That would do it just to.
At least you're getting into. At least you're wading through garbage to begin with. So
deep. They're only 20-minute episodes, right? So it's
sure. Feel like a lifetime.
Okay. Cult leader. All right. So we've got one for Resistance. We've got one for Holiday Special. I'm okay with that.
Wow.
The Lego holiday.
Hey, you should make it a. Oh wait, no. The live. The live thing can only be a yes or no answer, right? It can't be a multiple choice.
Right.
Hey, Hal Runner. I've watched that son of a gun twice.
Yeah. I haven't.
More the second time.
I never finished it because we told Scott to finish it, and I took Scott's word for it.
I watched it. It's awful. Don't do that, true Star Wars fan bull crap.
Yeah, I did this what I did right now with these other shows. I'm gonna let me watch it again. Let's make sure I'm not being a dick about it. And I was not. I was absolutely correct. We all are.
Yeah.
It's trash.
It's awful. So what else do we have? We've got Andor. We've got Ahsoka.
We can revisit Ahsoka, Andor, a season
Acolyte's
of Mandalorian. Yeah, Acolyte's too fresh.
Mando seasons are going to be important because
I just started on the plane flight back from Ireland. I was watching because they only had the first 3 episodes of Mandalorian. I watched those, and man, were they not some of the greatest TV I've watched in years. That's just why not Mandalorian season 1?
Yeah,
it's great.
Deep dive Galaxy of Heroes.
All right,
or revisit Tales. Maybe we should revisit Tales of the Empire again because I don't think we kind of.
Oh, that's too fresh. Let's go to something more fun.
You think so?
I'm still mad at it. It was garbage.
Here's the thing: we can revisit the sequels.
You need to leave.
Revisit the sequels.
We'll figure it out. Everybody send us a message.
I must be in a bad mood tonight to start bringing up the sequels and resistance. I'm not though. That's the thing.
You're Mr. Don't talk to me about the sequels, and all of a sudden you're like, let's rewatch the sequels, everybody. This is gonna be fun.
Just well, anyway, guys, let's wind down. I do have a epic show in the making here, and the Starlight guys don't even know about this because I want them included in this, along with the pit. And I'm going to be working on this, and you will see a slew of advertisements for it, and we try to get everybody involved. It's going to be awesome. There will be prizes. There will be something special added on to our channel. And it could be an ongoing thing. I'm just putting a teaser out there right now. So it's in your best interest to hit that like button and subscribe and tell a friend. Because
man, you're gonna make me subscribe to this channel.
Yeah. Don't unsubscribe and subscribe, but just subscribe if you haven't. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, drop a like on this episode and every other episode that we have. We have 278 of them that you can go. That's a lot of hours. So.
Good God.
When you're cleaning your house or driving, we got you.
Where's that put number 300 at? Like April? Jesus.
25 more weeks ish, or 22 more weeks.
Yikes.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys.
Week off somewhere, you know.
I think we will.
Christmas.
But yeah, so everybody in the pit, thank you so much. Everybody here, thank you so much. Scott, welcome back. Ernie, take us out of here properly.
Yeah, exactly what Moocher just said. So, okay, bye.
And we're done. Okay.
Yeah. He forgot Toshi Station Emporium. Go check it out. The link is down below. Check out some 3D printing videos. There's some new stuff coming up on there as well, too. Yeah. Go check out the last episodes. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications and hit all so you don't miss when they're on. And do the same for us as well, too. Hit the thumbs up. Drop a comment because all of that does help. Then check out all of our other social medias as well, because we're on everything from TikTok to Twitter to Instagram. But we also do have a Discord as well, where there's a lot of Star Wars talk, or just hop on over to the Facebook group and you'll always find somewhere that Sarlacc Digest is talking Star Wars on anything. You'll find it. We will see you next week. Don't forget to drop your ideas for some type of homework to come up with. What should we revisit? And then we'll see which one has the most equaled out on as far as
we'll put a poll out next week. We'll put a poll up during the show, and again, if resistance is, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Probably not, but
kind of.
So we can put in arcs.
We could put in arcs. Yeah,
the droid desert arc.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
George Lucas.
I mean, it's only 3 episodes, right? So.
They feel like an eternity.
That goes on the wheel. That goes on the options.
It's an hour. That's an hour of my time.
I don't think it's 3 episodes. I think it's like 5 episodes.
Oh,
it's like
God.
You're welcome.
Ew. Gross.
Yeah. Thanks. Chris.
Oh, Hell Runner. Yeah. Let's keep this stream going until the new episodes of Ring of Power drops tonight. Real fast. If you guys want to talk Rings of Power, go over to the Shadow Nose Network, because I'm on there talking Rings of Power. Link is in the description below, and we break down every single week, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, get into. I'm glad people are liking it, because there's a lot of people who don't like it, but that's for different reasons. Not because the show's not good, it's because they don't agree with the lore. Here we go again, like, lore versus show. But you want a real breakdown? Yeah. It's midnight New York. Yeah, but that means, it's always a midnight Pacific drop. But then what? 3 a.m.
Where do you guys stand on orc families?
I am okay, because it's not the end all be all to it. It's not all of them. I don't like it, but I'm okay.
I've not watched any of season 2 yet. I've been out of the loop, so I got to get caught up. So,
well, see, you're the guy too that you followed a lot, follow along the books, and you've read them too, like
the unfinished tales,
yeah,
and the Silmarillion, and all the Tolkien,
and you're good with season 1, right?
Yeah.
So, there's
except for the first episode. The first episode bored the hell out of me, but otherwise, it was a great season.
At this point, and I know it's going to get more exciting. The humans are a slog fest right now.
Did you watch last week's episode?
No, I'm now with this one today. I'll be 3 behind. I got to catch up.
Okay, catch up.
But Elves and dwarves, man. You give me elves and dwarves, I'm cool. You start throwing humans in the mix, it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, orcs are people too. Jeez. Yeah, Hellrunner, actually, orcs came from humans and elves, and so they carry over those traits. So orc families can be possible. That is a thing, and that's exactly what Tolkien said. Tolkien himself said it. He didn't say that they have family. They just said it's likely that they would have traits like humans and elves. And guess what? How we reproduce? Yeah.
J.R.R. or Christopher? Because it makes a difference.
J.R.R. said it.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ernie. I just had that. So where were you?
I can't go on after that.
I thought he wrapped it up and you started over again.
He did. I
thought it was wrapped. I thought we were waiting for Keep It.
Scott was back. We were waiting for Keep It Nerdy. The mutant.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Welcome back, Scott. Yeah. Thank you, Pitt. Thank you, everybody. With that,
keep it nerdy, everybody. Watch the Rings of Power.
Right, or don't.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Or don't. Do what you want. It's free.
Do we want to do?
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.